Senator Rennick.
Thanks, Chair. Hi, guys. Now, this is the right department to ask about biodiversity and our animals. If I can ask about that. So I was up in North Queensland last week at the proposed Chulumban wind farm, and locals were extremely concerned about the threat of the proposed wind farm, along with some existing wind farms, to the koalas there and the gliders that have been sighted in the area, as well as the bird life, given that there's a lot of water reserves in front of the or beneath the proposed wind farm. Have you got any thoughts on that? How do the locals go about lodging some sort of, statement, or getting some sort of oversight on what's out there, getting a count and what's actually under threat?
So, Senator, just to give you a heads up, this is a project that's currently under assessment, so we can only go to the process elements of it, but it will speak to how citizens can input into that process.
Yep, that'd be great.
So, Senator, as Mr Knudsen mentioned, this is under assessment, this project. There are consultation opportunities through any referral that we receive and consider, and so there's been consultation undertaken in this case. The environmental impact assessment has been consulted on, and people have submitted comments on that. The process is the proponent then takes those comments and needs to demonstrate in submitting their final documents to the department and the minister that they've responded to any comments received. My understanding is that there was 783 public comments on the public environment report that was done for that one, and I understand there was also a petition with a large amount of signatures. So there is public concern about that process. That's been provided. That full information around all those comments has been provided to the minister, and we're now considering, I suppose, that final proposal from the proponent, which incorporates that.
Okay, because some of those areas abut World Heritage Rainforest. So in terms of that World Heritage Rainforest, is that something that government, as the custodian of that land, would also look into, given that, I would have thought, because it is World Heritage, they've got a responsibility to make sure, that whatever, bird life or whatever lives within that area then doesn't be impacted by the neighbouring wind farms, which to me seems very close, to put a wind farm right next to a World Heritage rainforest.
So, Senator, World Heritage is one of the controlling provisions under the Act, so that is... So the proponent would need to detail how their proposal is acceptable with relation to the values of that World Heritage area. Even in close proximity, they would need to do that. You don't need to be in that area, as this one would be. They'd also detail, for example, impacts to threatened species and ecological communities, so other matters such as migratory birds, for example, and other species on site where they'll be doing the development.
Is there somewhere we can see that online, or is there some way that we can have a look at the process that takes place so I can provide comfort to my constituents?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of information, so we're happy to direct you to the assessment process that we undertake and what's required. This one, as I say, is quite advanced, so all those matters have been triggered. I can assure you that we're assessing all those impacts. Okay,
could you take that on notice and come back to me with a set of steps that I can show the constituents, A, how to, say, lodge their concerns or whatever, and then also see what has taken place?
Happy to do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Appreciate that.
Authorised G. Rennick, LNP Chermside.